You are
Anyway.
bobbing and
Anyway, so what's the conversation now gone to? Pan-Africanism.
Now we can go
The
back to that.
conversation is hold on, Lady D. Hold on. The conversation is, Lady D, is that interracial relationship has not been good for our people, right?
It isn't, and it hasn't. Period.
But guess what? The moment I said that, you had African descendants saying things like this, but you have mixed ancestry. Oh, it can't be all the biracial Africans and all these things, and then going on to the onslaught. So that's what the question: can a mix or a mixed ancestry African descendant speak on interracial relationship? That's what the topic is. All due respect to beloved.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to go back in it. I don't come under that umbrella.
Though, and that's you see. Even just the question. I think the question, like the whole premise of the question, is wrong. Like, why wouldn't you be allowed to speak on the type of relationship that you are the spawn of? You're the product of. Like, I think there's a tragic part of this conversation where it's like people are being discounted, discredited, told they're only half a person. And, you know, for me, I'm not taking part in that. So I'm going to just say, Brother Kel, on that note, like, I'm like I said, I'm not trying to fight you down, but, you know, it's not for me, bro. It's just not for me. Like, I got a cousin, do you know what? He's half flipping Jewish, of all things. But guess what? He don't know no Jewish people. He only knows black people. He only understands black. All he knows is black. In fact, he don't even identify with no one but black. You're interested. As far as he looks at other people, he's kind of a bit extreme with it. He's like the reverse of Uncle Ruffles, you know, like that.
Brother Shifa, you know what's very interesting in that, and this is how I know. Right? People are talking about pro-truth, but really they're not.
Jedi was pro-truth, so mind what you're saying. I keep telling you.
What are you talking about? Brother,
I'm the one that was talking about.
Jada mentioned that.
We're having a discussion, brother.
Yeah,
right?
I'm saying I am the one that mentioned pro-truth.
And Brother Shifa said that is about the truth as well. Remember?
Yeah, well, I used the term pro-truth.
I said I'm not about the
listen.
Go on.
I'm not letting you know, because you're not being very politically scientific with the way that you're speaking. And you're going to end up drawing in, man. I don't want to be drawn in. But exactly. I'm hearing what you lot are all saying. What I'm hearing is a mixed race man, yeah, a mixed ethnic heritage brother of mine talking to another brother and saying, well, if you are in a mixed heritage relationship, you can't talk on black issues, while you talk on nothing but black issues. Do you understand? So I'm hearing this and I'm like, don't you not have no feeling? Hold on. Listen, when I go and do my DNA test, yeah, and Greek and Italian and these things pop up, yeah, then I might shush. But until that day, I feel like, yeah, I can talk. 'Cause I see my grandparents. I know how they stay. I know where they come from. I know the land that they're from. It's quite obvious. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not understanding how a man that yesterday wants to tell us he's part sun, part sand, which people in the chat are saying that makes you glass.
Excuse me? When have I ever said that I'm part sun, part? I've never said that before, brother.
But you are. You don't have to.
But you are.
You are. I beg you don't confuse the I beg you don't confuse my frequency. Don't.
No, big up.
No, bro. With all due respect, when you got the test, because I genuinely love you, Kel, and I hope you understand the spirit of conversation. And I always have to say it. I know Kel is here for the people. But when we're having these conversations, I can't be holding back, bro. I'm hearing something that's not sitting right, because you're telling me that you got Jordanian grandmother, and you're here sitting asking whether people of a mixed heritage background or in mixed heritage relationships should be able to speak on black issues. While you speak on black issues, after 2 days ago, you told us you got Jordanian grandma. I'm saying, bro, shush, man, sit down, man.
Hold on, brother. First of all, brother, right? The background that I've been raised on is Pan-Africanism, right? Now, Hold on, brother. You gotta let me finish, brother. You gotta let me finish because
the question wasn't the background. Sorry, just to clarify. We weren't raising the question of the background someone was raised in. You're raising a question of their relationship status,
their heritage.
So yeah, and their heritage. That's what you based it on, not on
environmental. No, I didn't, brother.
Environmental, postnatal. Environmental, postnatal influence. You are not mentioning that. So if you're taking in nuances, like I said this to you 10 minutes ago, it's like you're not fathoming. If you're able to take in nuances when it comes to yourself, my brother, then maybe speaking in blanket terms like you are, is counterproductive. Think about it, bro.
What I said was, brother, is the interracial relationship. You see, that's what we were talking about. And then it went on to... No, I'm not.
Okay, so what is the actual question about interracial relationship?
You are a product.
No, brother, you see, brother, when you keep on assuming, brother, no, brother.
Is this one of the ones where we lie? Is this one of the ones where we lie for the interest of Pan-Africanism?
Brother, I don't need to lie, brother.
Okay, so the truth is, you are the product of interracial relationships.
Yep.
That's the truth.
Okay. First of all, brother, hold on.
So anytime you're discounting the products of an interracial relationship or those that are in it, then discount your family and yourself.
Now, brother.
Otherwise, speak.
No,
brother. Speak to the individual cases, the nuances, and the specifications that you mean to address. Because you're deliberately generalizing when you actually will fall by the wayside. If we all start generalizing, you're going to get bun too.
Brother, this makes no sense. I'll tell you why. I've told you already, brother. There are non-Africans who have African ancestry. And they all went against the best interests, right, of that African ancestry, right? I gave you a list.
African ancestry. That's not what we're discussing, bro. You're being very
no, brother. Hold on. The reason why we got to discuss it,
very obvious what I'm saying, Kale.
You all believe.
Let me try.
Brother, where's the discipline, brother?
Mixed ancestry.
Brother, where's the discipline, brother?
You are the product of such unions. You are the product, and here you are, the staunchest Pan-African that the world has ever fucking seen. You here, right? So I'm saying, if we know that you yourself, who has a mixed heritage, can be the staunchest advocate for pro-black, pro-African, Pan-African ideology and lifestyle, then I think you owe it to yourself and the rest of the world when you are making these statements to stop with the sweeping generalizations and speak more tactfully with more political science in mind and more honesty, because you're making sweeping generalizations about people with non-African heritage when you, my brother, are a product and wouldn't be here talking the black stuff if you weren't the product of that. So if we're going to cast off everyone and say, yo, people with non-African heritage, they work for the man. Well, that's an unfair statement to make because you're someone of non-African heritage that doesn't work for the man. So that's so straight away.
There's confusion. I can see clearly where the confusion is. Right, let me just say this, bro. So I hear what you're saying. You're saying, and I'm talking for Jedi now. So I'm speaking to Jedi now. So you're saying, Jeds, if you've got if you come from if you're from a mixed background yourself, from mixed heritage yourself, and then you're putting out there in a blanket statement, that's I think the point you're getting at, in a blanket statement, that anybody in interrelational relationships is basically going to, I guess, coon or sell out or whatever for the white man or whatever, then throw yourself under that bucket because you're saying, right. And Kelly's saying, and you're also saying, if you're not saying that, then be specific. Say who the specific kind of situations you're talking about, where like people that are currently in interracial relationships, people that are selling out because of interracial. Talk to that person specifically. But if you're just generalizing and saying, bro, Kel, now I'm talking to you. If you're just generalizing and saying that anybody from mixed heritage is basically unsynchronized, then that's when you're going to find a problem.
I never said that, you know.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm just shortening it down. So he's saying basically make it into smaller blocks is what he's basically essentially saying.
Because you read up on the Pan-Africanist elders and sexual, a lot of them were biracial. You see what I'm saying in that? But they were synchronized. You see? The thing is, what I was saying,
being synchronized doesn't make you less.
You're not gonna let me
one line. I'm sorry, I have cut you up, Kel. I apologize.
Many times as well, you know. King.
Being synchronized doesn't make you less biracial, brother. Like, I beg you, stop this nonsense, please. Come back to the land of logic,
brother. This makes no sense, you know, brother. Because I've told you already, right? The principles of Pan-Africanism. The first principle, right? The first principle, all African people are one family, you know, bro. Whether it is your dialect, your language, skin complexion, you see, as long as you have that direct descendants, brother, from the African continent, via whether enslavement or not, you are an African. I've always said that, you see. So why does the mixed ancestry have to interfere with a political?
It doesn't.
All the conduct to liberate our people.
It doesn't. But Carol, it doesn't have to interfere. But
it doesn't have to. Exactly. So why are we mentioning it,
brother? It doesn't have to interfere. But it also doesn't mean that we're going to play silly buggers and ignore the fact that your mum's white, or your dad's this, or your grandma's that. We're not ignoring the fact and going to act like you're not biracial, because when you have parents from outside of the continent, and you deem yourself to be African, as me, who all my ancestry comes from the continent, I'm now offended. I'm now offended. I'm now offended. Yeah, you like.
Girl, what do you say that you're not pure?
You're not biracial, brother. You're black. Yeah, like you're black. That's a political status, but you're biracial, bro. As fact, biologically, socially, you are biracial. Yeah, you're mixed of two races or more, and we're not gonna pretend that doesn't exist, especially when we're talking on situations of race. We're gonna ignore it because you're synchronized. So all these brothers, and this is what you've done. All these brothers that are elders of the Pan-African movement that are biracial, we kind of swept away their efforts. Yeah, because in one breath we're gonna call them black, and then we're gonna diss biracial people and tell them that they basically are going to side with the oppressor. Meanwhile, we know that we are biracial and our elders are biracial too, that are founders in the movement. So I'm saying that's illogical to take that stance. You better just start owning up to your mixed heritage and the mixed heritage of certain founders of Pan-Africanism, and you better stop making blanket statements about people, because that's ignorant. And once you know better, you do better. If you didn't know that there was biracial people, then cool. You're not, but you're being willfully ignorant by omitting that fact and actually saying the reverse, which is biracial people, by way of being biracial, are gonna now become coons, are gonna now become turncoats, are gonna now bang for the system instead of against the system. Yeah. So this to me is like, we can't go past this because you have an identity crisis. You got an issue, and this is why I find certain men that are mixed race or whatever, they try to overdo this black thing to the point they're telling other people who's black, who's synchronized, who's African, who's not, who's rare.
No, your brother,
hold on, because you got a Jordanian grandma. Now you're telling everyone else in Africa who's synchronized, who can have a conversation about black relationships, who shouldn't have a say. And I reckon you're doing all of that to cover up your own inadequacy that your own brother don't see in you. I see you as my brother, as my equal, yeah? But don't try to pull the wool over my eyes, and don't you think I'm gonna scan through your family pictures and not see the Middle Eastern dudes all in the pictures. Of course I am. I'm gonna say, yo, what, this your family too, yeah? Big up. Where are they from? Jordan. Okay, yeah, so you're part this and that. Cool. Like I said, glass, sun and sand equals glass. That's you. You're the glass man from now on.
Now, brother, this makes no sense what you're saying, you know. Completely makes no sense at all. And I'll tell you why. First of all, brother, I'm aware of my mixed ancestry. I'm aware. Do you understand? Here's the thing which you fail to realize. When you do not have a code of conduct, brother, right? And there is a system which is portraying unethical code of conduct Africans, right? You will say to yourself, well, I can lean towards that way because I'm not just like the Africans, or I can lean towards that way because I am like the Africans. You see, you have to pick a side. And I understand growing up, brother, is that I am an African and I choose to stay on the African side. Now, when we're talking about the Pan-Africanist elders who had biracial answer, I've never hid them. I've always mentioned, I've had talks with Beefy and Mary J. when I was telling them Martin Delaney.
When you make the other
brother Jay, I'll let you have a dialogue, brother. You don't let me finish, brother. Come on, brother, man.
Yeah, please, Jay, let him finish.
Come on, you're not letting me finish, brother, man. And then you're saying,
yeah, but you're just playing games, and we shouldn't be.
What games are playing, King? What games
are
I
playing? You're saying you don't hide them, and the other hand, you're saying biracial people work for the man. So wait, in one hand, you're not hiding the achievements of the biracial ancestors and full founders, which I've told you already. Your whole Pan-African thing is funded by white Masons. You know it, I know it. So this whole thing is stupid anyway. Plus, the black Masons are Prince Hall Masons, who was a mixed race man, who got his certification from New York Right fucking Lodge in UK. And before that, the Boston Lodge, which are Irish white people. Yeah, so all the way is white people through Pan-Africanism, the funding, the creation, yeah, and the members are biracial. You're telling me you're not hiding it that they're biracial, but in the same breath, we're going to say biracial people are going to side with the man. They're going to side with the powers that be.
That's right,
brother. You've misunderstood, brother.
What I did is pulled you up on the generalization you was making, because I understand you know better. This is why I'm saying it's willful ignorance. You're generalizing and making blanket statements to suit an agenda, even though it is incorrect. It's actually a lie what you're saying, because you're a living testament. So unless you differentiate and become a little bit more descriptive, like I said to you, you're willfully being ignorant. And this is the misleading tactics I can't take from you lot. Just work with honesty, man.
Brother, you're basing things on individualism. I've told you already, but